the Marketing Funnel Strategy Show. More leads, more sales, more predictability.
Introducing Jared Hyman, sales and marketing expert. Introducing Serena Carley, marketing and outsourcing expert.
G'day everyone, welcome to the Marketing Strategy Show today. Super excited for today's episode. I'm here with the lovely Serena, as always. How are you doing today, Serena?
Pretty good. I looked at the screen and where the hell's it gone? Like, come on. And then I forgot you're in a silly mode today. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, in a silly mode, but I think I'm in a silly mode all the time anyway. So I think we both are in a silly mode from time to time. It's probably why we vibe so well together, Serena, you know, like yin and yang.
Exactly. Yeah, black and white.
That's it, black and white, yin and yang. We're a powerhouse. Anyway, guys, so today what we're going to be talking about today, a little bit of a different topic, right, off marketing, but still marketing in some way, shape or form. And it's an area that a lot of people don't really speak about at all. And it's really how to actually think like an expert marketer and, you know, what the top 1% think like and how you can actually do the same for your business as well. Because marketing is as much like when you talk strategy, tactics, you talk all these types of things. Yes, that's some part of it all, right? However, the big picture to it all is the way that you think and how you think differently, because sometimes you can't see the forest through the trees if you don't think a certain way. So much of marketing is about strategy, tactics, you know, strategic planning, all that type of stuff, and being able to bring all of that together either by yourself or with a team. However, there's still some thought patterns and ways that you must think, that there's some different ways that you must do things in order to think like an expert marketer, right? So that's what we're going to be discussing today. Is we're going to be discussing how to think like the top 1% of marketers. So today, this is going to be super valuable for all of you guys to help you really get that down pat. You can just let us know below where you're tuning in from as well, where you're tuning in, whether it be Australia or outside Australia, wherever that be. Just let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. If you are watching the replay, just type hashtag replay below. Make sure you share information to more and more people as well. There's people you know that might want to get this information and get this information free that we've got here on the page. So share that out to as many people as possible. Serena, like when it comes to this topic, how important is it, right? Thinking like an expert marketer or thinking like an expert in your field, and how important is this, do you feel?
Well, I think marketing is one of the most important aspects around your business. And as much as you can't know everything there is about it unless you're fully involved in it like what we are, you still need to have, you know, I don't want to say the basics. I think sometimes you even need a bit more than the basics. You need to understand how it works and why it works, what makes it tick, and why can some people get more out of the marketing than somebody else. What is it that they know that can create that? Like, for example, Facebook ads, you know. People think that they can just throw up a Facebook ad and they don't need to know much about it. But if somebody threw up a Facebook ad that was not 100% on it up against you, they might pay $10 for a lead and you might pay $2 for a lead. So that's the difference. And then it could be exactly the same style of ad or whatever, but it's how you set it up that counts. So thinking like an expert marketer, if you can get sort of as much as possible to know how to do it, doesn't mean you have to do it yourself. Then you can always get the experts to do it. But at least you know that you're talking to an expert knows what they're doing by the mere fact of understanding what they do. And I guess that's what you're going to tell them today. Is that right?
Exactly right. Because you know, you don't need to be an implementer to think like an expert marketer. You don't need to be the person actually implementing the strategy. There's a lot of consultants out there that are very good at thinking like a marketer and thinking, you know, about exactly what that is, and they can do that, but they just suck at the implementational side, right? So I guess we're kind of blessed because we can do both, and we can show someone that path because we've just been doing it for such a long time. I've been doing it since 2014. Serena's been doing it for many years as well. She's been, in the marketing game and so on since 2007, Serena, was it? It was 2008. So a very long time as well. I've been physically doing Facebook ads since 2014 and Instagram ads since 2014, right? But, Serena's been doing search engine optimization, marketing in general for, since 2008, right? So we've had to be able to implement, out of, forcing ourselves to be able to implement for that long. But we've also had to think very differently to what the average person would as well, which is an exponentially, a thing that be able to scale things a lot faster. So your ability to be able to think like an expert marketer, there's 4 main things that I want to discuss with you guys today to help you think more like an expert marketer for your business. And I find if you look at, say Kevin Hart, for example, right? Kevin Hart, he's a great actor. Very, very good at what he does. He really gets himself into character in every particular role that he gets as an actor. If you look at, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, right? Very much the same. Very good at getting himself into character when he is acting, right? And the person that they are then in these, as these actors, isn't really necessarily the person they are in real life. They just throw themselves into that person, and they're very, very good at becoming the character that they have in those particular roles in movies. Marketing actually isn't any different, right? You've got to be able to act or to be able to think like a specific person and throw yourself into a specific person's shoes and become that person, right? And with business and with marketing in general, this is what expert marketers do. They have that ability to be able to throw themselves into the situation of that person who's going to buy that product, buy that service from that company, and they can look at it and go, okay, how can I make it easier? How can I make it easier for someone to buy? What am I thinking before I come to this person? What stage am I at of the buying cycle, right? What am I thinking about? What am I doing? Where am I scrolling? Where am I hanging out? What is it that I am physically, this is what they're really good at, expert marketers, right? They are really, really good at understanding and becoming the audience themselves. And this is what we've got to do every time we come across or we bring a new client on board. We've got to look at, what are these people thinking? What are they doing? What is their challenges? What stage of the buying cycle are they at? How can we educate them? What do they need to know? What are 5 things they need to know in order to buy a product from this person's business, right? What do they need to understand before they buy, right? This is this is why Kevin Hart is really good as an actor. He throws himself into the character, into that person that he's acting out, that role that he is, Jim Carrey, once again, very, very good actor, one of the highest paid in Hollywood, very, very good at throwing himself into a character. That's why he's so well known, right? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, very much the same, very good at throwing himself into the character of the person that he's acting out to become in these particular roles, okay? So for you to become better at marketing your business, you've got to be able to throw yourself into the person that is going to buy from your business. You've got to become an actor. You've got to become the person that's going to buy. You got to understand, what do they need to know in order to buy your product as well, right? And these are the main things that you must understand as a business owner before you even think about, running marketing campaigns, before you even think about implementing marketing campaigns, before you even think about strategizing. And this is going to be something that you're continuing to act out even when you are running campaigns as well, right? You've got to be able to act out exactly what your experience and your client is going through, even when they go to physically pay you money for your service, right? You got to know what's going through their mind as they're looking to transact with you as well. And if you can really become this actor as a marketer, and you can throw yourself into exactly what your audience is going through and what your particular ideal client is going through as well, and you can become that person, and you can really feel what it's like to be in their shoes, only then can you really understand, and only then can you really start getting very different results as a marketer, right? Because you, as a business owner, right, you are a business builder, you are a business owner, right? And we're going to be covering a lot of this. We're going to be running an event next month, actually. We're going to be covering all of this in a lot more depth as well, because this is the reason why businesses are successful and businesses are unsuccessful, right? It's because of the way they think about marketing their business. And this is the biggest thing, is step into the character. If you can step into that character, into that person that's going to buy from you, and you can really map this out, understand it, and continue to develop it every single day, because we are in right now a very different time, right? There's been a lot of changes online. There's been a lot of updates. There's been a lot of things going on in the economy. And, you know, what worked 2 years ago, 18 months ago, is evolving every single day, and there's new things coming in. So if you want to think like the top 1% and you want to start getting results like the top 1%, these are the things you got to understand. You got to understand how to become that actor, how to step into the thought patterns of these people that are coming to you. Serena, do you have some more thoughts? Is there something I missed around that particular side of things there that you would like to add? Around that mindset, around the stepping into becoming that actor, right? Like,
my mic was muted again. I was saying, no, you were so passionate about that and coming out so loud and forceful. I was sort of like, whoa.
Yeah.
Taking a bit back.
So
I was
true.
writing down what you're saying and putting it up so it keeps implementing it into their head, so they totally understand that, you know, I'm sure that they were their client at some stage. That's why a lot of people get into the business through something that they didn't like that somebody else was doing. Why did you start your business? You know, what made you start that? Was there something that happened to you as a client in the same sort of niche that you felt was missing or whatever? And sometimes we forget our roots of when we started something to being changed. We let a lot of people, you know, manipulate us a bit and, you know, try and tell us how to run a business, and we change the very essence of what it was about at the beginning. I was fighting that all the time, you know, with my first business. So have a really good think about it. You were the customer once, so make yourself the customer and write down everything of how you think, feel, want, desires, whatever, and then put yourself back in your own shoes and give it to them.
Exactly right. And these are really big points that we're going to go through today. So you guys might need to go through this again and again to really understand it well. Welcome to the call, Mara. Good to have you on. And, you know, these are just, that's the first step anyway, right? I'll give you number 2. As an expert marketer, you must be able to interpret data, okay? So whether you are a details person, you're not a details person or not, you need to either be given data to interpret data if that's not you, or you need to have some type of understanding, or you need someone to be able to explain it to you, that interpretation, to be able to make good quality decisions. Marketers, good quality marketers, and the top 1% of marketers, right, aren't optimizing how much am I spending, right? They're not optimizing, you know, and these are CEOs too that understand this. The top CEOs in the world understand this the best. They're not looking at how much they're spending. They're not looking at how much, right, it's costing them per lead and all these different things, which are great things to still understand, by the way, how much you're getting a bang for your buck. What they're more so looking at in terms of interpreting the data is how relevant are they, right? But more importantly, they're looking at what is it physically, like how much do I need to spend to acquire a client, right? How much am I spending to acquire a customer, right? And they understand the data around what is my lifetime value. And this is another thing we'll be covering next month at our event too, by the way, because these are things that you must understand to become an ultimate business builder, right? And become that ultimate business owner, that ultimate marketer for your business, right? Because you are the best marketer for your business, right? Regardless of whether you outsource marketing to people and things like that, nobody understands your business better than you do. Nobody, because you do it 24/7, right? You sleep it, you eat it, you drink your own business, right? Or as one of our business partners says, Michael Knowles, he said, you eat your own dog food, right? It's what you do. You eat your own dog food. You eat your own business every single day, right? You understand it better than anyone. Nobody can understand it better than you because you're liaising, speaking with the clients, the people every single day, okay? That's what you are doing as a business owner, right? So you got to be able to interpret the data. You got to be able to interpret is it working right now, right? You need to understand what your lifetime value is. You need to understand how much you're willing to spend to be able to acquire that, right? Or invest to acquire that. But more importantly, over and above this, what do we got to do now to reduce that, right? And this is what the top 1% of marketers do. They don't look at how much they spend. They look at what's my lifetime value? How much am I willing to spend to be able to do that? And what am I going to do now? What have we got to do right now to be able to make that, reduce that and do better, right? Can we improve our sales process? Can we improve the way people come to us? Can we create a lower barrier to entry to step up then into a higher ticket product, right? This is what the top 1% do, and this is what they implement. This is why they go so well. This is why they're an expert marketer, right? Because they understand and they're looking for ways to be able to reduce that and ways to do better. They understand in a lot of cases sometimes, quality is better over quantity, okay? Being interested about your ideal client, their situation, the process in a sales conversation will then, in return, make them more interested, right? We spoke about this with our team earlier this morning, right, on meeting. We have to be interested in people for them to be interested. If people get the feeling you're not interested, they will also be not interested as well, right? Everything is reciprocal, right? If you don't listen to people, they will not listen to you. They will switch off. And how true is this, Serena, right? Like how often we've, being sold to by people before and we can tell they're not interested. So what do?
Ignore them.
Exactly. And this is what I mean by, as a good marketer, you've really got to understand and be able to interpret the data. If you haven't got someone around to do that, you've got to be educated and you've got to have someone around you to help you do that as well, right? In business, everything is about relationships, and marketing is also about relationships as well, right? The more time you can spend with somebody, the more likely they're going to warm to you, the better relationship they're going to receive with you. And then as a result, what will happen? Where there's trust built, transactions are had and made. These are the things that you guys have got to understand. And you got to not only become ultimate business builders, right, of your own right and business owners, but you must also become a marketer for your business as well. Whether you're implementing it or not implementing it, that doesn't matter. You want to still understand it, right? So that's number 2. Anything further you want to add? Did I miss something, Serena, or what's your thoughts on it? I'd love to hear.
I know I've sort of pretty much said all my thoughts with that one. So, fine.
Yes.
You got it. You're hitting it on the nail. Head.
We're smashing it. Yes, of course.
Hitting the nail on the head.
The nail on the head. Yeah, 100%. The nail's going in. Bang, bang, bang. If you're getting some value from this session as well, guys, just let us know in the comments. Just type value below if you're getting some value from this today as well. And feel free to share this to more people, right? Because more people need this information. Nobody's speaking about it, right? In a lot of depth. Share it out. Let some more people hear it. The third is you must be willing and open to changing direction, okay? Too many people continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, and they never get it. Why? Because you never do anything differently. People are stuck in their head going and beating their head up against a brick wall. And I'm telling you, I don't know whether you guys have ever hit your head against a brick wall and done it multiple times. I tried it once and it hurt, and I decided not to do it again. So a little bit of a lesson for everyone. Don't hit your head against a brick wall. It hurts. If you continue to do it, it hurts more and more and more. And if you want to try it, definitely try it. But, I wouldn't recommend it because it hurts. So don't hit your head actually, in fact, against anything that's hard because it'll hurt, okay? So just don't do that. If you want to get a different result, you got to do something differently, and you got to be willing to change direction. If it's not working, you got to cut it and actually change it and do something differently. Re-strategize. You got to reposition something, okay? And I'm not saying, hey, you've been running this funnel for 10 months and all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore, right? And then you change to a webinar or you change to something different and do something completely different. I'm not saying that at all, right? And I'm not saying do it for something for a couple of days and switch it off and say it didn't work. I'm not saying that either, right? You must be willing and open to new ideas and change direction if needed. So what I'm saying is don't change up your whole strategy that's worked in the past and things like that. I'm saying switch up direction on it, change minor things, reposition things to do things better than what you were before. Maybe revamp what it is that you do, right? Remodel what it is that you're currently doing right now. We ran our marketing blueprint ads. We've been running those since 2018 now, and never once has that ever failed us, our positioning of that particular marketing product that we use. It continues actually today to do better and better and better and better the longer we're in business, right? So we have in fact changed zero from that approach, right? If anything, what we did better was the fact that we doubled down on that approach, and we actually repositioned that approach going back about 12 months ago, right? So now that product does actually even better again. The main things that we do is we reposition the creative, and we reposition the way that we articulate the product online. And we do that regularly, right? Probably once or twice a month, we look at doing that. The current ones we've been running right now, we've been running them for the last few months now, just the same way that it always had. But we just repositioned approaches on the back end of all of this to be able to get better results for the business, and we started doing more of that as well, right? So being willing and open to changing directions, restructuring things, doing things differently, repositioning, these types of things are what you must be able to do as an expert marketer, right? And if you want to be like the top 1%, they don't go and they don't just go there and create everything from scratch again and start all over again and redo new products and all that type of stuff all the time and, switch off after 3 days and say that didn't work. They look at repositioning and doing things better, right? Changing things up. What can I do better to get a different result? So that's what it's about. What are your thoughts on this, Serena? Because we see it regularly, right, with people too. They've tried something for a few days. They said it didn't work. They switched it off. What are your thoughts on this, around this particular subject?
Well, it's to do with Facebook marketing itself. I think people are too scared to spend money because they don't look at what they're spending it on and what the outcome is. Most people are actually thinking, oh my God, that's another cost and it's going to cost a lot of money. And they try to do things organically and that goes very slow, or they try to boost a post or something. Of course, we know that doesn't work. But they don't actually really work out how to do the Facebook advertising itself, which if done the very way that you've been talking about for the last 20 minutes, will create the outcome that you need. So remember, we talk about, 1 out, 3 in. So $1 out, $3 in, is like, you got to see the value in that, right? Like you're paying $1 and you get $3 back. I mean, that's a no-brainer just on its own. So initially at the start, especially if you're not too sure what you're doing, which is why it always pays to get an expert to do it for you, because it'll save you a lot of money in the long run, is, you test and test and test and test until you can see that what you're doing is actually going to bring down the cost of whatever. So if you start up a little bit higher, keep going, knowing all the stuff that we're talking about, and then you'll find that, you can reduce the cost until next minute you're laughing because you might have one out and 10 in.
100%, right? 100%. And these are just the ways to think a little bit differently, and to become a better marketer, to become like the top 1%, you do have to think very differently to the rest. So that's the third. Number 4 is the top 1% of marketing are very, very good leaders, right? Because what happens a lot in marketing is a lot of people get tunnel vision. They look at what their industry is doing, the way the industry is doing things right now, and they go, this is the way it should be. This is the way my industry does it, right? And, if you've got a team working with you as well, it can also be the same. This is always the way that we did it. This is what works for us. This is what everybody's doing in the industry. This is what's worked well for us in the past, and all these different things. And as a marketer and also as a leader, too many people can't see the forest that's there through the trees. Okay.
And I'm going to come in now because you told me I could cut in. Just wait for you to take a breath. And just sort of say in regards to that, I've always been taught to find out what your competitors are not doing and do that. Some people are too scared to be different. I love to be outrageous. I love to be right out there and just sort of, I don't care what people think of me. It's like, if you're sort of stuck in a little box that you're acting just like how you want everyone else around you that thinks you should be acting that way or you've been brought up that way. Sometimes there's other ways out there that you can do it and you can have fun. Just going into a lift and turning around and facing everyone while they're facing out towards the door, because that's the done thing. I don't. I face them. I won't tell you what else I do as well. But, it's all about like thinking differently. So you go to your competitors and see what's lacking there and then create that in your marketing to show. Like when you say to someone in a business, they fill out a form about, what their business is like. And so what makes you different from everyone else? Oh, I give great customer service. Anybody could say that. It means nothing, jack shit, So what you've got to do is go into a business, and I go to a lot of business, and I love giving credit and I love giving complaints. It depends on what I get. I have no hesitation about saying either. I've gone up to a manager in an airport or to a staff, said, can I speak to the manager, please? And he sort of turned around and goes, oh, my God, here we go. Yeah, what's wrong? What can I do for you? I said to him, say that person over there and that person over there are fantastic staff. They've been absolutely amazing. The big smile on their faces for greeting people. I've watched them while I've sat down and had a cuppa. They need some recognition for that because they're absolutely fantastic. But then if I go up and someone's really sour and doesn't even speak to me when I go up to a cash register or something, I will make a comment about that as well too. What? Cat got your tongue, having a bad day, can't say hello. You're in a customer service business, so you need to have, the right things to approach to people. You need to build the relationship and the trust, exactly the same if they're in front of your face as what you do, online. So finding out what you're doing that is totally different to everyone else, and that can be part of your marketing as well. And find the people that want that sort of stuff.
100%. And it's as an expert or as a marketer, as well, and being the top 1%, not everybody's going to see eye to eye with you, okay? They're not going, like, and even your team as well, right? So your team will not see the forest through the trees of what you are wanting to achieve with this. So you got to step up as a leader, as a marketer, as a business owner, and you've got to paint a vision for somebody to show them what could happen once this project is completed, once it's finalized, once it's running, all that type of stuff. So you got to be able to paint that vision to people, right, as a leader, because not everyone's going to see what it is that you're creating with this, and you've got to really paint that picture of what it's going to look like as a leader, right? Because marketing and the implementation of marketing campaigns and structuring things and putting certain things in place and ideas and methodologies and systems and whatever else, right? Not everyone's going to see it. And I think that's where, like, we work a lot with our clients as well, is not everyone can see what it is that we're helping them construct, right? What it is, the processes that's been put in place here. Not everyone sees that. And especially in the early stages too, there's, hey, this is new to me. There's a fear. There's doing all these things differently to what we've done in the past. And we look at what the competitors are doing and we're doing things very different. And it's like, wow, like it's just these little things that you can do differently as well to get different results. You agree?
Yes, I do. And I just sort of wanted to add, because I was thinking about it, it doesn't always necessarily, like we were talking, what I was saying just before, have to be online. It can be in your face. So, I'm in Bali here. So, of course, and I've been in the Philippines. And one of the biggest problems you can have, especially in Asian countries, is to get them to stop being shy. And if they are shy, I don't know why they're in a hospitality industry. But, to train your staff, because how you get treated is the marketing, so that you will go out and talk, oh my God, you've got to go to this restaurant. The food was great, but the staff were absolutely fantastic. The owner was good. When you talk about stuff like that, that's your free marketing as well too. So you've got to make sure that your staff follow, and sometimes it may be a bit hard, because they'll come and serve you a meal and then you won't see them for the rest of the time. You might want coffee, you might want dessert. So the business is also missing out on income that way. So train your staff to be the frontline marketers in regards to how they teach, how they talk to people, and also to make sure that the food they're eating, like if someone in Bali came up to me and said, hey, how's your food? Is it great? I'd fall over in shock. I'd be like, oh my God, someone's trained you really well, because it's just so it doesn't happen so much here. And if I had a restaurant, that's exactly what I would be doing, is making sure that my staff represented how I like to not teach people, but how I like to treat people, and love people when they come in, give them love and hugs and great food and great fun, and, your marketing will get done less anyway, because they'll be out there talking about you.
100%, and like that's just another marketing tactic, right? As well, getting people talking about your product and service online in a positive way, and it's part of the strategy, right? Business assets created in place to get people talking, saying how good you are, all that type of stuff as well, right? So it's just these little things. How can you add more value to your current clientele, right? How can you position them better? What can you do to help them, right? And, as a leader, right, and as a marketer, leadership is a very big quality that you've got to have to be able to drive marketing results, right? If you look at it, most successful businesses have one person on the front end that is the personality of a brand, right, that drives the results, that helps see the forest through the trees that everybody else doesn't see, that talks about things differently to what other people do, right? Shares more value, creates a community around their product, their service, regardless of how big that community is. You can have so much power through a community of 100, 200 people, or 10 people even online, right? That's it. Just 10 people online is a lot. So as a leader, as a marketer, you've got to be able to show, you've got to be able to be the leader. as well, right? And if you're not the leader, team up with somebody that is a leader, right? Find a way to collaborate with someone who is a leader to create that leadership quality, right? We cannot do everything by ourselves. We must have other people there that help complement us, that help keep us accountable as well, right? It makes a huge difference. Many years we worked alone, right? In business, we need more people to help us out. I'm sure you agree with that one, Serena, right?
We need a team.
You do, definitely do. So if you guys have some questions, what I want you to do is to let us know below in the comments what questions that you do have. If you're watching one of our external groups at the moment as well, let us know, say hi. We'd love to hear from you as well. Obviously, these sessions that we do every Monday and every Friday at 1 p.m. Perth time, we want to add value to you guys, help you out in some way, shape or form, give you some strategies to help you move forward. This, 4 things that we went through today to help you think like a marketer better and think like the top 1% of marketers will really help you revolutionize the way that you think about things as well, right? Because so much of what we do in business is the way that we think and the things we think we attract as well, right? Without going into that woo-woo stuff, I'm not a woo-woo guy, but the more that I spend in the game, the more I go, bloody hell, right? There's a reason that there's a difference between the ones that, succeed and do incredibly well, and then there's a difference between the ones that don't do well. And now that we've worked with over 140 people across 10 different countries now as well, the more we do it, the more we realize there's such a vast difference between the ones that get fast success and the ones that don't. There's a very big difference, and most of it, I would say 90% of it is this, what we've spoken about today. They think very, very differently. They understand their business. They understand their clients. They're willing to change directions. They work really fast, right? They take action. They do what's necessary. It's these things that we do, and we're speaking about this in the Six-Figure Course Creator group earlier this morning, right? We did a session with them to finalize the last day of that group. And it was pretty clear, wasn't it, Serena? Some of the things we were talking about in there, right? The reasons why some are successful and some aren't.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they got some great value while they were on that as well too. I don't know if anybody listening to this knows about it, or maybe you should. Maybe you should go and check it out, because everything is online right now, and that's what they're pushing for as well too, to have most businesses online to save less people outside. So sometimes people, once I said like before, don't think outside the box. You may not think your business or come up with an idea that you could have for having a business course, and you may be surprised. So it's something worth following up with this anyway, just to find out, because I love the idea. I think it's amazing.
100%. Fantastic, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If you found some value from today's show, I just want you to comment below. Just put the word value if you have found some value from today's show, just to make sure that we're on the right track and we're giving you things that are valuable to help you move forward, to take some more action, to get more done in your business, to move forward as well. Next week, we've got a couple of expert interviews for you guys coming in. We've got one of the top video marketing guys in Perth coming in next Thursday, tuning in, Jared Freer. We're going to be interviewing him on, what it takes to create engaging video content to take your social media game to a new level as well. So we're going to be interviewing him live on Thursday next week at 1 p.m. Perth time, same time, but Thursday next week. We've also got tuning in from the UK, I think at 3 p.m. Perth time. I think it was, Serena, from memory. We've got Sean O'Leary tuning in from the UK. He is one of the leading myofunctional therapists in the UK, and he's been featured on the Sky channel, and he's been interviewed by many, many celebrities, and he's actually helped a lot of celebrities overcome back, neck injuries, pain like that people that are experiencing as well. And we're going to be interviewing him live next Friday as well. So make sure that you're here live for those too. So we got some exciting interviews for you guys next week. Some ones a little bit out of the box that we haven't done before. I'm sure you will find value from. So make sure you tune in live for them. And sorry, Karina?
Make sure you put them in the calendar as well too, because I can't see them.
Yeah, we're going to put them in the calendar as well. So keep an eye on the page for those interviews. That'll be next Friday and next Thursday next week to start off your June on a good note. And make sure you're also here Monday. We're going to be discussing a lot of these topics in marketing a little bit further on the Marketing Funnels and Strategy show. So I'm super, super excited for that too. And we're going to have you guys some wicked interviews here to help you guys to make your week exceptional. So I'm excited for that as well. Awesome, guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments if you found some value from today as well. Just type value into the comments. Just remember this one thing in closing.
Wait. Sorry.
Yes?
Remember, if you don't fight for your freedom, nobody else will. So get out there, take action, and make it happen. And you will receive everything your heart desires, plus more.
Exactly. Remember to be the warrior, everybody. We'll speak to you all really soon. Look forward to seeing you on Monday's show. Well done, Serena. Virtual high five.
High five.
See you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.